Okay guys, here it is, the long awaited Retro Roy Aladdin's Cave tour. Stepping in, what's the first thing you'll notice? I'm a huge Star Wars fan even. So on the back wall you'll see I've got a load of the UCS sets, the Lego UCS. Everybody knows the massive Falcon, X-Wing, Slave One, Imperial Shuttle, Walker, Jabba's Sails Barge, Vader's TIE, and the X-Wing. I've also got the Star Destroyer, but that's upstairs. I started putting out all my minifigures, and then slowly over the time it just grew and grew and grew accidentally, so they look really cool. You can see I've got a cinema projector as well, which I watch some movies on. Swinging around, got the Jurassic Park gates, a couple of standees, Mario, Paper Mario. Here you'll see, unrelated, is my list of to-do things on my classic mini restoration. Cut to that now. You can tell there's a lot to do on there. Stepping back ever so slightly, my console and TV set up. You can see on the wall I've got a 55-inch LG OLED. It's beautiful, and my sound goes through an Onkyo 5.1.2 amplifier, and as probably loads of other people have got, a custom Kallax setup with a few glass shells here and there, so it all looks kind of symmetrical. It's quite pleasant. I kind of like the setup, although I do need to tidy it up. Quick tour of my consoles. I guess the first and foremost, my original N64 from back in the day. You can see I've got the Perfect Dark sticker on top. I guess this is the console that really kicked off Nintendo collecting. When I had that, I was tricked or persuaded into buying a SNES by my mates Suds and Roops, and this is the console that I bought, I think probably way back in 2000 or something, and it's still going strong. After that, we've got my personal GameCube that was purchased on day of release. I've got the Wavebird, which I acquired courtesy of Rajesh Patel. You know what I'm talking about. And then after that, I do have my original Wii, but it's packed up. I've got a red Wii, but my original Wii U down there. And then my personal PS4. Naturally, I've got the Battlefront Special Edition there with the Star Wars control pad on the floor. I guess other notable consoles in my collection is this Mega Drive, which belonged to a friend of mine who was doing a house clear out and just gave it me, which was nice of him. So yeah, that's now part of the collection. I recently got the 32X. You can see in there, original and still works, which is great. Next to that, I've got the Dreamcast, which again, there's a story with that. I used to have a Switch when I decided to cash in on the Switch's desirability, so I put it on Facebook Marketplace as a trade deal for anybody if they had anything interesting, and after going backwards and forwards with loads of people, I ended up swapping it for this Dreamcast and a shed load of games from a good friend of mine, Sunj, who features in the intro video. So there you go. What else have we got? In terms of my Game Boy collection, you'll see the usual classics at the bottom. The one on the left, the OG, that was my sister's that she had way back in the day. Unfortunately, it no longer works. I need to have a go at fixing it. And the clear one, let me take it out. The clear one belonged to Get Retro, and the screen doesn't work properly, and I wondered why it didn't work properly, and then he just told me it's because he dropped it in the toilet in India. Fantastic. Up the top we've got Game Boy Pocket, and then two Game Boy Colors, and then 2 special Game Boy Advance SPs. I think the Zelda one's got a new screen on, so I guess it's been reshelled, but it still looks fantastic. But the Mario one is original, and I've got the box with that as well. Yeah, love this piece, great little design. Probably the jewel in the crown is this little bad boy. You can't tell because I put it in a gel cover, but this is the Japan only Mario Famicom limited edition. It's a beautiful thing in great condition, hence why I've kept it in this little gel case, and it looks fantastic. B footage coming up. The other consoles, I guess, I've got, you can see on the top, that's an I don't know how you pronounce it, Odroid, I don't know, it's a emulation console. I've got some arcade sticks plugged into it. Then obviously you've got to have an NES. Then we have a Sega Saturn, 2 PS2 Slims. The silver, I would say, is the best looking console ever developed. Take it out, I mean, look at it, it's gorgeous. And up top we have the audiophile PS1. I've been told it's super desirable, no idea really what it is. And then, yep, down here you can see my 2 8-bit DO arcade sticks plugged into the arcade machine. And then just got the Mario figurine holding a wireless pad for the SNES Mini and the PS5, and Yoshi's World, you guys remember seeing. Okay, from here let's look at the games. Let's start on this side. Just quickly touch on 2 rows of movies. I've been told I should get rid of the movies as it takes away or dilutes the experience. I love movies, so no, they're staying. Behind the top row is 4Ks and Blu-rays, so whenever I want to have a movie night. And then I guess down in terms of general interest, I've got 1.5 shelves of Wii games. The general, you know, shovelware which you'll see in most collections. I do like the Zelda Skyward Sword with the golden controller. Here you can see I've got the 2 Mario Wii remotes. They're pretty cool. I'll try and get a few more of them. Down here I guess is the notable Wii games. I've got the Smash Brothers Brawl. I put the sealed version inside there to give it a little bit of protection, so that's really nice. Next to it, whoops, probably my favourite, Metroid Prime Trilogy. This thing is beautiful, you can't really tell from the video, but it's a quality game, compilation of all 3 Metroid Primes, updated with the motion controllers. They've just remastered it, or the first one for the Switch, but this is the OG. It's beautiful, and I'm happy to have this. And then the other 2 notable games, I guess, are I've got a big box with DVD of Mario Galaxy 2. It's quite nice. Still haven't played Galaxy 2. I've been meaning to finish number 1 first. And then the Metal Slug Anthology, just a collection of all the various Metal Slugs. It's quite sought after. Next to those, I've got my very modest Wii U collection, sorry. There's nothing special there. I've got the usual Marios, yeah, the usual Nintendo stuff. Like I said, nothing special, don't really play on it that much. And in front of those I've got my Street Fighter Digstony, I can't remember how you pronounce it, figurines. They look pretty cool. I think I still need to get Chun-Li and Dhalsim. I'll be on the way. After that, you can see the GameCube shelf. Let me move Anakin out of the way. I quite like the GameCube. I think it's underappreciated, but I think it's coming up. So you can see the general games I've got, the usuals. Notable Rogue Leader and Burnout. That was the one I purchased, or these two I got on launch. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've got the usual fare. Like I said, I am a Resident Evil fan. This is quite a unique piece, I think. So this is limited edition DVD that came with Resident Evil 1 from Game. I picked up back in the day. It's just got a few video clips and it's more like a trailer for the main game. But yeah, £2. And then yeah, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica and 4. And it's great. And the other notable one that I still haven't played, Sunge, shout out to you. Oh, not that one, it's the American. Shout out to Sunge. F-Zero GX, we've been meaning to fire this up for ages. Definitely need to give it a go. Insert some footage now to show what it looks like. It's meant to be an amazing game, and yeah, we really need to play it. Yeah. Moving on, let's go over to this side of the room. So here are my, again, relatively small Dreamcast collection. Most of these were picked up from Sunge, but then I bought a few of the classics afterwards. So notable games, we got Gunbird 2, it's a fantastic shoot 'em up. Power Stone 2, which is a great little fighting game. Dead or Alive 2, everybody's favourite fighting game, I guess. And then probably the heavy hitter is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is an amazing fighting game. And then I guess can't really skip over House of the Dead 2. It's fantastic as well. So yeah, there's a few more Dreamcast games I think I'd like to get. Jet Set Radio and Shenmue. But otherwise I'm quite happy with the Dreamcast collection. Next up is my PS1, which funny enough, I never really was a fan of the PS1 back in the day. I was envious of a few of the games that came out on it though. Again, favourites, Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. And you got the Tekkens, Smackdown. Terrible wrestling game. Terrible, but so popular. I guess this is probably the big one, right? Gran Turismo. Can't really talk about PlayStation without talking about Gran Turismo. And then any other notables? We've got some more Tekkens, Time Crises. That's a game that I've been meaning to fire up but haven't been able to yet. And then I've got Tomb Raider, obviously that's iconic now. Shame they let the franchise slide. What else we got? So this is our original Tomb Raider 2 game for the PC. So like I said, we never had a PlayStation 1 back in the day, but we bought this when we bought our first PC. And yeah, great little game on the PC that. And then obviously 2 Star Wars games, TIE Fighter Wars and Jedi Knight. Awesome. Then my PS2 collection. No, I don't really collect PS2, these are just ones that I've seen on the cheap. The only ones of here on note that I really want to have a go at are the Time Crisis games. Let's see if I can pull these out. These always look like loads of fun, and I've never played any of them before. I need to set that up, and then there's the Fate and Fury that we got from India. And then right in the very corner is my PC collection. Who remembers Unreal Tournament? I mean, the commentator is a legend by himself.
Killing spree.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, another classic. And then got this nice big box, Vice City. This looks awesome. Great game. Okay, moving along the floor, we've got my 3DS and DS collection. Again, these have mostly come as just inconsequential pickups. Special shout out to A Link Between Worlds. If you're a Zelda fan and you like A Link to the Past, This is a must-have. It's an amazing game. I'm about 80% of the way through it. I stopped for whatever reason, but I need to finish this on the 3DS. It's a great game. Highly recommended. And I'm also about 80% of the way through Pokemon X. It's pretty good. Hidden behind there, you've got a small Saturn collection. Don't really know anything about the Sega Saturn. Probably could do with adding a few more. Next to that is my single lone 32X game, and that's embarrassing, isn't it? I need to step that up a little bit. And then a small Mega Drive collection. Mega Drive, coincidentally, was our first actual games console. We had an Amiga 500 Plus. Well, I think of that as more of a computer, but we had the Mega Drive, well, my brother had the Mega Drive as our first games console. A lot of these were some of the games that we had back in the day. Special shout out to Aladdin, Sonic 2, and probably my favourite out of the lot, Streets of Rage 2. That's a great beat 'em up if you haven't played it already. Oh yeah, and Moonwalker. There are so many great games on the Mega Drive. I think it is underappreciated from a retro collecting perspective, simply because Nintendo's taken over. And then here I dumped the PSP games that I got last week from India, so they're there. Moving up, we got the PS3, PS4 and PS5 shelf kind of crammed in. Again, these mostly the PS3 games are mostly from deals, so don't need to talk anything about those in much detail. The only one really of note is this King of Fighters game, which is pretty cool. Nice little collection there. Other than that, they're all the usual stuff. And yeah, I've only got a few PS4 games. It's quite embarrassing, isn't it? Considering I had the PS4 for so long. Never mind. Got a few big box Nintendo. So we got Mario Paint, Lilo Wars, and Super Game Boy. I'll shove it at the top of there. What is that? Smash Bros. Melee soundtrack from the GameCube. It's great music. Then I got the boxes to the PC games you saw before. Again, those are the originals. Next, there are the two Joy-Cons from my Mario Odyssey Edition Switch, which drift like hell, so I don't use them. And then, even more depressing is my NES compilation there, collection.
Le who? The her.
Move those really, I shouldn't be there. And my extremely modest Switch collection, which will be growing slowly over time. Right way up. So yeah, intentions are to get more of the Konami Silver Box. I'll talk about that later. Probably what is more substantial is my Game Boy collection, a boxed Game Boy collection. Yeah, I'll just discuss these quickly. So I do like the special edition consoles. You can see I've got 3 of the better ones: the Pokeball, 2DS XL, SNES edition, 3DS XL, and then the Pikachu 2DS XL. And that thing's beautiful. They look fantastic. Just move those out of the way. So yeah, like I said, we had the Game Boy during childhood, so naturally I was drawn to collecting these when I jump-started my collecting hobby or addiction, as you were. There's the boxes for the Pocket and one of the colours. Notable games in here. Got a nice DX Zelda. There's Metro Fusion we saw last week. I've got Metal Gear Solid, which has skyrocketed in value. This one's not as clean, it's got a bit of sticker residue, but otherwise good condition. Look, somebody paid a tenner for this. A lot less than what I paid. What else have we got? I've got a spare Pokemon Emerald. Then the Wario Land 2. Metroid 2. That's in great condition. You see, I got it for 50 quid, which was a steal. And then, okay, yeah, this is quite nice. Here is a still flat packed Street Fighter 2 box in, so this is, well, mint condition, as it doesn't get better than this. However, it is the display box only, which, yeah, okay, means it doesn't have much value, but considering the condition, it's fantastic. This will be going into a hard case and put on display later. Obviously, I had to buy the game to go along with it. The Mario Kart 8 Wii U version. Then I've got my original N64. I've obtained the GoldenEye sleeve. There, that's a. Let me climb up. That's an Italian Game Boy box, which I bought purely for display. You couldn't tell from a distance, and it's in pretty good condition with the insert. So yeah, purely for the display purposes. Then the box for the special edition Wii. There is the Mario Odyssey Switch. Got a couple of the new Game & Watches. It's quite nice. An OG first base set Zap theme deck box. Still have the cards. This is the Game Boy Micro, the NES, or the Famicom edition, which you saw. This is quite a nice piece. Let me take this out one-handed. So you think, yeah, okay, it's just a zapper. However, I'll insert the B footage. It's brand new. It's pretty cool. So next, the Pikachu N64. I didn't even speak about this, did I? I jumped over it. The limited Pikachu N64, which is a beautiful thing. The action set. So this is on, besides the one which I showed last week, which is just a great Nintendo NES box set. Let me just jump down in a bit. I've got a very clean 3DX box. However, it's missing the insert, which is a shame. So here we've got a box for the Game Boy Advance Zelda edition, sadly missing its lid, and shoved way out back is the Mario edition for the SP. So yeah, here we can see the pretty awesome SNES special box with Mario All-Stars and Mario World 2-in-1. Sadly, this one's missing the top tray, which makes it kind of incomplete, but for display purposes, I think it's really cool. Next to it, SNES Mini, and then behind it, this is my OG SNES box, which I bought probably back in like 2000 or something. I think it was either 30 quid or 60 quid, I can't remember, one of the two, but it's in pretty good condition and everything's in there. And next to it is a boxed only Street Fighter 2 Turbo SNES edition, which I think is probably the best looking variant. The artwork is amazing and it's something I always wanted. Do you guys remember Tandy? I remember seeing this in Tandy when I was little, and pretty much ever since then I really wanted it, so there you have it. In front of there, I may as well just pick it out. This is the box for the 2DS XL, the Pikachu edition. I mean, it's as cute as it gets, isn't it, really? It looks fantastic on the shelf. And hidden behind there is a brand new NES Mini. I haven't taken it out of the box and probably don't really want to now, no point really. So that's just hidden back there. Okay, next up is my box N64 collection. Half of these are from childhood and half of them are modern ones. I'll put the heavy hitters out front for display. You got a near mint copy of Stadium 2. Never played this when I was young, however I've been told the mini games are excellent, so I need to fire that up. Resi 2, I think I did the video on a few weeks ago. Nothing else to say about that really, it's amazing. and then the ever appreciating Conker's Bad Fur Day 2 in a nice, beautiful little acrylic box. Don't know if anybody's played this one before. I'll try and put some footage in, but this game was rare unleashed, really. There's nothing else to say about that. 3D platformer with adult humor, let's say. Played a little bit when I was younger, and I really do actually want to go back and play it again. What else have we got? So, got the usual basic affair. FIFA 64 notable because this is the first game that we got for the N64. Mum and Dad got it from a market in Dudley, and he gave this with the console for really cheap, which is why they bought it. Until we complained so much that they bought us Mario Kart 64, and that one's there. And then next to it is, I think, the first game that I bought. I got GoldenEye and Mario 64 together for my birthday with my birthday money from HMV, or from somebody I knew who worked at HMV. Shout out Elish. Yeah, nothing else to say about GoldenEye 007 for now. I'll give you a separate review. Mario Kart 64, probably the best Mario Kart game. Don't fight me. Rogue Squadron, which is great. Episode 1 Racer, great. Diddy Kong Racing, great. No Mercy, that's worth having a look at. This is the best wrestling game ever made, in context of the time when it was released. Nothing much to say about this other than it was wrestling perfection for the time. We played it so much. You'll note there's a spare Episode 1 Racer. Do something with that. Smash Brothers OG. Then this row we've got Blast Corps, massively underrated. DK64, a bit over the top. Banjo Kazooie and Tooie. Tooie's gone up in value lately, but great games. Pokemon Stadium, and then here we got a few other randoms. Killer Instinct Gold was good. Nothing else special in there really. So yeah, those are my boxed N64 collections. So moving down, so this is my cheaper SNES collection. I just put the Game Boy Pocket on the corner just for display, and I've got another 2DS XL plain one there. Not much to say about these. They're mostly just the cheaper, more common games, except actually you've got FIFA Road to the World Cup 98 there, which is a bit rarer. And then down here I've got my Disney games, except for Yoshi's Story randomly there. Pinocchio and Beauty and the Beast are quite desirable though. I've got a few empty battered boxes, and then yeah, it's a general shovelware. Usually I try and buy complete with manual. This is an empty box, by the way. You can see it's fucked.
You are fined 1 credit for violation of the verbal.
So the next shelf up above. Oh, you might be wondering, what is this? This is in fact Megatron, which is why I think it's pretty cool. Actually, if you open that up, his head comes out. So yeah, I guess first thing of note, I have the complete Konami silver box. This took a while to trace down. Games of note is Team NFL. This is one you won't see at all very often. $3.99, can you believe it? Yeah, super rare, that one. Other games, Castlevania 4, Parodius, Super Probotector, or Contra for you Yanks. Got the DK trilogy, got the Star Wars trilogy, and then over here we've got the Mario, I don't want to say trilogy, but Mario games. Got the All-Stars Yellow and Red, Mario World Red and Yellow, and Mario Kart Blue and Red, and then Super Mario World 2. It's all pretty cool. Could probably do with getting a better version of the Mario World Red. Top row, Pilot Wings, Killer Instinct. Mario is missing. That's quite a nice game. Indiana Jones. If you wonder, I try and put it so the names are this way around, that's why they might be upside down. Double Dragon is a bit battered. Sky Blazer, not too bad. Actraiser, not too bad. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and I think Ghoul Patrol is the sequel. I think it's a sequel. Think of the Mortal Kombat 4 games, and then this Power Rangers the movie, which I had to put together as part of a box only and cart. Total Carnage, Goof Troop, randomly. Super Aleste, which is a great shoot 'em up if you've never played that one before. Punch Out. Oh, this is worth pointing out. I have a sealed F-Zero with a red label, which I bought on eBay. I think I've got the receipt for 16 quid, 11 quid, way back in the day when I was trying to buy F-Zero, and luckily I kept it sealed all these years. It's in great condition. Obviously I keep it in this plastic cover, but yeah, I'll be selling this in the future to raise funds for something else cooler, but yeah, great to have. And then the two secret games, and Rock and Roll Racing, which is a great little racing game. Okay, the final part of the games room tour is my set of, I guess, museum displays. The first one we'll do is the WWF. I grew up watching wrestling like probably so many of the other guys did, and probably more of the Attitude Era, to be honest, but I certainly remember playing with the figures at primary school with the kids and the ring, and some of the games are classic. You can see I've got Raw, WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, and a couple of NES games. That's quite nice to have. Most people comment on that when they come over and they see it there. It really brings back a lot of memories for a lot of guys. Fantastic. Missing Kamala and the Heartbreak Kid. Yeah, really to complete it. Next one, I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, and Street Fighter 2 on the SNES is iconic, isn't it? I've got the Kid Robot figures and the full set of games, and then I've got the Big Boys toys. Shout out to Retro Ghetto, Akuma. See. How sick is that? You know it. Awesome piece. Below it, I've got a almost complete Mario Party set. You'll notice probably the most expensive one, number 3, is missing. However, I own it currently, but it's sat at my friends in Spain because I didn't want to pay for the import duties. So I'll be completing that later this year. But otherwise, yeah, a complete Mario Party set. Jumping across, I mean, do I need to say anything about Mario? Not really. Front and center, you'll see I've got Super Mario Bros. 3. Why? Because, in my opinion, it is the best Mario game out of all of them. I think, especially on the All Stars, which is what you can see on the screen. If anybody wants to get the Mario experience, play Super Mario Bros. 3 on All Stars. Notable behind there, I've got a boxed, may as well get it out, a boxed All Stars and Super Mario World 2-in-1. These are really rare. You'll struggle to find one of these in good condition, but it's worth getting. We've got the Paper Mario, my original Mario 64, and then this is also super rare, a excellent condition Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars, notable for being a Square game. So Square were kings of the RPGs back in the day. Yeah, great little piece. Next up is my favorite game series, I guess, is the Zelda franchise. I've put Ocarina of Time in the middle. Well, actually I think Link to the Past deserves to be in the middle. It's a shame about the glare from the light on the cases. Best Zelda game of all time, I think. But Zelda Ocarina of Time is one of the best games ever made. Which contradicts myself a little bit, but that's where I stand. And then yeah, I've got Zelda 1 and 2 on the NES, which I managed to pick up from a cash converters in Dudley. Big up yourselves. And then the 2 Game Boy games. Oh, and a Game & Watch from Vintage Gamer, which works completely fine. It's fantastic. Next up, well, what else do we need to say? We've got the OG, the king of the Game Boy, let's face it. Still going strong today. We've got the Pokemon set. Happy to say I've got the complete cardboard Game Boy series, which started off, I only had Pokemon Yellow to begin with, which I bought back in the day. I think it was like 16 quid for a mint condition. And I remember after I bought Yellow, I was trying to get Crystal for the longest time, because I thought I may as well get the, you know, the special edition version of each game, and I knew Crystal was the third one. That kept on going up and up and up in price, and ended up being the last game out of the series that I bought. You know, like Emerald looks fantastic. A few of these are American. It just means you pick them up for a bit cheaper, so there's a top tip. If you're looking for the Pokemon games, buy American, they still play fine. And they all look fantastic. Yeah, I love it. And then last but not least, this is my shelf of heavy hitters. So we should probably go through each one of these. I've got, some of these are American by the way guys, so it is what it is. Mario's Time Machine in excellent condition. I've heard this game is absolute trash, but it's very rare and it's quite pricey because of it. Final Fantasy 1 and 2. I don't really like RPGs, it's not my bag, but Final Fantasy is legendary, let's face it. And the first two, well, 2 and 3, I think in Japan it's 4 and 5, something like that, but great games to have. And I've got it again, an American Final Fight. Whoops. Yeah, an American Final Fight. Again, doesn't quite hold up compared to Streets of Rage in my opinion, but highly desirable. To get the PAL version of this, you're talking almost 200 quid probably, whereas I pay like 40 quid. And then the other heavy hitter in my collection, this is probably my most expensive boxed game, fully complete in very good condition. I've got Chrono Trigger, which is widely described as the best ever RPG, which is kind of the reason why I bought it. I got it for this for $240-ish from Canada, but I think its price has gone up well over 300 quid now, so snap it up. Then this side you can clearly see is the big box Super Metroid. Look at that artwork, it's beautiful. It's an amazing game, and every SNES collector should have one of these, even though the price has gone stupid. Move some of these out the way. And we've got Legend of the Mystical Ninja Konami Special. You'll see I've got quite a thing for Konami games, and this is one of those again which is highly desirable. This one's in not too bad condition. I love the artwork, and it's spawned a little bit of mini franchise. I've got the N64 one as well, so that's a great game to have. Correct me, I think Mega Man is a Konami game. I'm sure it's a Konami game, but it's not branded Konami like the other ones are. So I've got this Mega Man X. I'm not sure I'll be able to get X2 or X3. Probably priced out for me, unfortunately. But I'm glad I've got one of them. I do have the amazing Sunset Riders. I love this game. I play it on the my hacked SNES Mini and on the OD Droid all the time. If any of you haven't played it, I'd strongly recommend giving it a go. It's such a good laugh. The way that the characters move and the gameplay, it's a load of fun. Insert footage. You can have a look. It's just brilliant. It's simple but fun. And then Turtles in Time. So this one technically completes my silver box collection. It's a great game. Me and my nephew completed it. Such a good laugh. Great music. Good fun gameplay. Going around beating up the various foot soldiers and other. Well, it's set through time, so you get to fight all sorts. It's a good laugh. This well worth it. However, that isn't the end of my game store. My most expensive game that I have is Earthbound. Check it out, guys. It's beautiful, right? I know what you're thinking, TJ, you twat. That's clearly a repro. However, the box is repro, and it came with a really nice manual as well. To be fair, they did a good job with that. Inside, I have an original Earthbound cart. I put it inside a protector. A little bit of light damage, which is a shame, but otherwise the label itself is in pretty good condition. The good thing about having the damage is, you know, it's genuine, right? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So yes, this in isolation, my most valuable game. I got it for a steal at $220, but then I got stung by the revenue and customs at the border. Bastards screwed me over 60 quid, so I ended up paying about 280, which I mean even then isn't bad. But fully boxed now, it's going for ridiculous money. So yeah, there you go. Fantastic. I made a right mess. But hopefully you enjoyed that. I enjoyed making it. What's happening from the future? So there's twofold, I guess. Clearly there was something missing in here, and that's a beautiful OG CRT. I've been waiting for the right one. I think I've secured a deal on one. We'll see if it comes through. Then that'll be coming tomorrow, and yeah, hope we'll see. That'll be another video if that comes through. The other part is, this is clearly a pretty small room. Got just about enough space for 2 recliners. There's the PSVR. So my idea is, long-term plan is, I'm going to move to a slightly bigger room within the house. I've got a plan. We'll try and make it work. Hopefully, if that does come, then I'll be able to expand, because you can see I'm pretty stacked as it is. Oh, I've got a Death Star lamp which I made from IKEA. Shout out. But yeah, that's it really. I need more space, guys, like everybody else. I'm filled pretty much. So yeah, the plan is to move to something slightly bigger, tidy up this Kallax a little bit and expand, and then get a CRT. Hopefully that'll be soon. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, thanks for staying. If you're still here, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep it retro.